Now this device is the bigger brother to the kindleFire HDX 7, and it's basically your portal into all things Amazon. So as you can see, at the forefront of this device is all of Amazon's services. So first up, let's talk about design. It's actually quite a nice device. It's very thin and light. We did expect something a little bit heftier, but that's actually not the case, and holding it for long periods of time we found to be very easy. It's quite cool, it's quite angular, it's very solid feeling and a little bit different feeling as well, which is good. And as you can see, you'll find the power button and volume rocker on the back, which is nice and accessible. So as you might have gathered from the name of the device, this is a 8.9-inch screen. It's 2560 by 1600 pixels and 339 ppi, so as you can imagine, that's very sharp, it's very clear. The colour accuracy is actually really good, and obviously this is great because if you're an Amazon Prime customer, you'll be hopefully downloading lots of TV shows and movies, and you'll be able to make the most of it on this very, very nice screen. The UI is pretty slick. It's got a 2.2 GHz quad-core Snapdragon 800 with 2 gigs of RAM, an Adreno 330 GPU, so as you can imagine that's very good for gaming. We played some quite graphically intensive games on this and we didn't see any sluggishness at all, so performance is very, very slick. Battery life is around 7 to 10 hours depending on your usage, but you know, by today's standards that's actually quite good. You've also got an 8 megapixel camera around the back, which takes alright photos. I mean, we never really recommend you take pictures on a tablet anyway, but you know, it's there if you need it. So you've probably noticed by now that this isn't a regular Android tablet, and that's because it's built using the Fire OS, which is based on Android, but you know, you won't find much evidence of that within the tablet itself. This is because Amazon's trying to make the Kindle range very much their own creature. So, you know, the Amazon store is very much front and center, and if you're looking for an Android-y tablet, this might not appeal to you. There's no Google Play Store either, so don't expect to be able to grab all your favourite apps. And the Silk browser, which is Amazon's own, doesn't support Flash, so again, that may or may not be a problem to you. Kindle is actually kind of similar to the iPad in that buying into it means you're buying into Amazon's ecosystem, so all your movies, TV shows, apps, and so forth is going to now be through Amazon. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's a pretty major point to consider if you're buying a tablet. And, you know, if that doesn't appeal to you, you might be better off with something like the Nexus 7 or iPad if you're not looking to buy into Amazon's products and services. One thing Android users will find familiar is the notification bar, but you might notice that here they have the Mayday button, and what it is essentially a live video assistant service. So you click on the button, you have to be connected to Wi-Fi for it to work, but once you connect, you'll have a live agent on the line who should be able to help you out with all your troubleshooting needs. The kindleFire HDX 8.9 comes in 3 models. There's 16, 32 and 64 gigabytes. These cost £329, £369 and £409 respectively. So is this the tablet for you? Well, if you do want a solid and powerful kind of multimedia device that's essentially a gateway into all things Amazon, then this really is a good option. However, if you are looking for something with a bit more flexibility and slightly better hardware, then you might be better off looking into something like the iPad or Nexus 7, or even something like the LG G Pad 8.3, which is a similar screen size but is much more based on vanilla Android.